This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
Thank you all for coming today. I'm going to call this meeting of the Housing Authority to order at 6:05 p.m. And the first thing we always have is open time for public comment. We have Sharon here from the public. Sharon, do you want to make any comments?
I wish I could get my camera to work.
Noted. Noted for the record. Well,
no, I've still got a sharp learning curve here, so I'm active listening and trying to catch up.
Well, good. Thank you. We can sense your presence and we appreciate it. Next is approving the minutes from the July meeting. So I'll put those on screen right now, just so we can all.
I move approval. You sent them out a week ago.
All right. Anyone? Sorry, I'm frozen. 1 second.
I approve. They look good.
All right. So
was that a second?
That was a second.
All right. All in favor of approving the minutes from July?
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay.
Anna's muted, but she looks like she's trying to give her a scent.
I did, yeah. Sorry, I forgot I muted. Now okay. I'm not, and I said good. Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so those are done, and then next is the 354 College Highway RFP update. So the RFP is almost done. Bradley and Scott have been working on it, and Stephen just caught a couple things that I just sent them to fix. And additionally, because they were taking so long to finish it up, I had a chance to reach out to Megan from Habitat just to one more time be like, hey, like it's coming out, they're taking forever. I basically threw our town procurement officers under the bus, which I'm sure they would appreciate with love. I was like, well, the last question they're asking is how long should we give people to respond? Do you have an opinion on that since they haven't put it out yet? And she said 30 to 60 days is fine as long as we have like 5 years to do the construction. And I said, okay, great. So I suggested 30 to 60 days and I was like, let's get this out. Like, let's do this. But just so you know, they're still working on Bradley, who is our town accountant and procurement director, is still working on closing the books on the last fiscal year, which ended at the end of June. And so like, that's behind, other things are behind, and I know he's working hard and just like dealing with the situation that he has dealt. So I don't fault him or Scott. They have a crazy amount of work to do. I'm just going to keep sort of being on them. And if any of you are downtown and you see them at the town hall, you can just be like, hey, just so you know, we're still waiting on that RFP. How's that RFP going? Did you get that out yet? In a friendly and encouraging way. That'd be great.
I heard you're working on the RFP, and that's great.
Yeah. And maybe you have to say what it's for, because they might be working on multiple RFPs. So the RFP for 354 College Highway.
For housing, well, for the Housing Authority, even.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Well, the select board met on Tuesday, and we renewed Bradley's contract, and we discussed, Bradley's professional growth. And it was only last year that he became our procurement officer, which is a certified title in Massachusetts. And you have to hew the line if that's what you're doing. Chapter 30, And so it was recognized that he hadn't done RFPs previously. So not only, I imagine this is first time for Sierra describing the program and Bradley putting it into a state accepted RFP form. So kudos to, figuring it out this far. It looks to me like, as someone who might respond in a previous life, I could figure it out. it could be edited further because it's redundant. It asks for some of the same material a couple of times. It asks for things in different ways that is a little confusing, but it's not terrible. So we need to get it on the street.
Yes. I'm sure that's the goal for any publication, is someone could figure it out if they tried really hard. That's a really great standard to aim for.
Well, I'm glad you asked Habitat. What do you need in this category? I'd have them review the draft, or your friends at Mass Housing Partnership, right?
I asked my friend Steven to review the draft because that was the person who had the most obligation to do so out of any of those people.
Well, you got 2 cheap comments back lately.
Yes, but that's okay, because that was really important that we don't say it's required to be 2 units, because that would be bad. So once an RFP is out, you can do edits. You just have to do an official amendment, right? Like, is there like
that's state law? I don't know.
But I think as long as we get that fixed, redundancy is fine. But anything that's like demanding something that we don't want or that we don't need is not fine. So I think we corrected the most urgent situation, and redundancy is just whatever. Anywho, but thank you for that. So that's what's going on there. And next on the agenda, if we'd anyone any other questions or comments on that? Okay. Next on the agenda.
Are Christopher and Sharon tracking on what we're talking about? Previously acquired parcel on College Highway, acquired with CPA funds, now ready to go to market with the wetlands delineation and the septic design for 4 bedrooms or something?
I think it's 3 bedrooms, yeah.
3 bedrooms.
Well, okay, so if it's 3 bedrooms, it's not going to be 2 units. Okay.
Right. The idea was we did a septic design for 1 3-bedroom house, but if someone other than Habitat, and we know Habitat's only going to bid for 1 unit, but if someone else wanted to make a proposal and not use our septic design and do 2 units, we just wanted to give them that opportunity, but they probably won't, is the thinking.
All right.
But yes, I did give Chris and Sharon a rundown of that last meeting. So I think y'all are pretty caught up.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
So the next thing is working on educational materials for Zero College Highway project. So that is the fact sheet. And I already added a quote from the thing you sent today at the very end, which was that multifamily housing can be safely built in areas not served by public water and sewer without hurting the environment. I came in and did a little bit of edits in between, but have any of you had a chance to have any other thoughts on this fact sheet here? Yes?
Oh, on the fact sheet, right? Okay. Again, I think it's great. And I think the way that you provide references for a lot of the things that you tee up, that's awesome. If I could, 2 seconds on the article that Anne shared. I thought it was a great primer on septic and housing. It is, I kept getting jammed because there are some specific differences between Connecticut and Massachusetts. And so every time there was a numerical thing, it was the right concept, but the wrong number. And so the argument kind of got undercut. And so I didn't know. Well, that's the best I've explained it to date. So thank you, Anne, because it is a good primer. I mean, you can be on sewer, you can be on septic in Massachusetts. And I think in the fact sheet, but at any rate, in the planning that we've done on this property, we know under Massachusetts law, what the loading allowed, Massachusetts law and our groundwater protection bylaw, what the loading limit is per acre, therefore how many units, how big an aggregate system can be, 10,000 gallons. And even our planners are working at figuring out how could it be that the like safety and the senior center would share one 10,000 gallon system, and then the housing might have one or two 10,000 gallon opportunities. So the concepts are all great. It's just numbers play out differently in Massachusetts. And we already know it, and it's in our documentation. So,
okay. I had been talking to my friend that we worked on affordable housing for where I lived before, and she mentioned. Well, I was telling her our friend from Guilford said Guilford is practically all sewers. Guilford, Connecticut. Guilford, Connecticut is also on the shoreline, and it's a very built-up community. So, and I knew that there was something about soil-based septic, something that because we had worked with some Tyke, who when we did a affordable housing plan for our town. The town did their own, but we had an alternative one with less limitations. And Pam just said, "Oh, OCA had a report earlier this year about septic and sewers." So I just went to their website, and when I remember, I'm going to email OCA and ask if they have if there's someone comparable to them in Massachusetts, because they were always a wonderful resource for us. They're so well informed, and it might, I don't know. The woman that is the director lived in the same town, but I think she would have been just as helpful anyway. But and then if I find out if there's any nonprofit comparable to them, then they might have all the same kind of information that OCA has, or not. It depends on what they're pursuing as a nonprofit.
And I think for the purposes of this fact sheet, I don't know if people are too concerned about numbers and nitty gritty. I think they just want to know that it's possible and allowable. So I think the quote that I chose doesn't have any numbers in it. It does refer to a public health code, which I think Massachusetts does have a public health code. So and it is still constrained by that. So I think this is still a useful quote to use that just says, don't worry, we're not going to do anything stupid that's going to like pollute your groundwater.
Right.
Yes.
That's important.
Chris, did you have a chance to take a look at this between our meetings? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat as our other member, where I'm kind of in active listening. It's a big growth curve. I don't know exactly, where to add useful information and stuff. I'm doing a lot of just trying to read up on how this stuff actually happens. I'm watching YouTube videos and whatnot. So I don't think I have anything to add at this time to the fact sheet.
Were you left with any questions after the fact sheet that you were like, this is really missing? I feel lost about this.
No, nothing jumped out at me personally, but like I said, I'm a little lacking in the experience department with all this stuff. So
yeah, that's all good. Well, thank you for.
It looks good, and it's been helpful for me too. Because it lays out some of the stuff I should know as a member of the authority, right? So
yeah. Well, thank you for taking the time. Honestly, just more eyes on it is great. Sharon, did you have a comment?
I read it a couple of weeks ago, and then I did it all over again yesterday and today, and I found it very helpful. Now I understand things a lot better, but it's good to have brand new virgin eyes on this. Somebody who doesn't know much. It's very clear. I mean, I had no criticisms of it.
Cool.
Well, yeah, but I I don't know anything either, you know.
Well, neither does anyone else in this town, so this is exactly
No,
your target audience.
okay, so but you know, one of the things you were talking about a little while before, with the amount of property that we have at this site, I mean, I know the zoning laws in Southampton, how they are for a dwelling, but are we exempt? Could we be exempt? Can it be less than an acre? Could we truly put 2 units there? Is that allowable?
Well, from what I know, we can override a lot of density laws with 40B.
Yeah, yeah.
This could be that, but I don't know. Stephen, do you know the answer to that?
I wonder if Sharon's casting back to the other College Highway property where it could be 1 or it could be 2.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I could be.
Right.
Yeah, are you
So-
talking about the single unit or the like multiple units?
I'm talking about the
townhouses?
single unit.
Oh, okay.
Does it have to be just 1 unit on that? That's more than an acre, right?
Yes, it's a little over an acre.
But
Can
not
I
a lot.
Can I try to answer that? So, and you can tell
Sure,
me if
Ann.
I'm right or wrong. So, finding someone to do this is similar to finding a needle in a haystack, and
Yes.
Habitat will do it as 1
Uh-huh.
unit. So,
Okay. Oh, okay. That's a good answer.
is that right, Sarah and Stephen?
Yes, but legally, can we build 2 units on there? Yes.
Okay.
But you'd have to find somebody who would do
Who's
it.
willing?
who would
Yes,
work
and you'd
with
have
us
to
to do it.
redesign the septic system and make sure you could fit that
Yes.
and all of that.
Yes. Yes.
So
Okay.
here's a question.
But the
Go ahead.
fact sheet really applies towards the issues around 0 College Highway.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean, it supports the argument that we need affordable housing in Southampton, period.
Mhm.
Yeah. Which is part of it. Because
But
a lot
this
of people's
is a
reaction
good
is we don't
location.
care about the details, just we don't need this.
Yes.
One thing I'm wondering is on the article I have in here. Hold on, I'll share again. This article that I sort of copied and pasted, I have the whole thing because I think it's really nice and it talks about like factually where they got their stuff from. And so I just sort of highlighted my favorite parts. But my question is, should I cut out the non-highlighted parts because it's just too long and nobody's going to read it? Or do I leave them in because it lends more legitimacy to it? Because they're like, we literally got all this information. Here's what it is.
You know, I would leave it in because it supports the factualness of it.
I think you're probably right. Any other
This is-
opinions?
I agree. This is one we're going to get sucked into pretty deep. And the more we can quote, experts from away,
Yes.
Yeah.
it'd be better.
Okay.
Agreed.
And
Okay.
it's one of those not in my backyard
Yes.
areas.
Yes.
Well,
It's a
it's also
mythbuster.
a legitimate concern. I mean, the corollary is the traffic is bad on Route 10 where this property, where
Mhm.
this proposed development is. Why would we add housing there? Well, yes, the traffic is bad, and we're going to undertake to measure that, and we'll
Mm.
project out and we'll deal with whatever additional load is with safety measures better than what we have right now, and maybe a lower speed limit than 40. Okay, that analogy may not really help you much. The housing argument, I think, is one that we're going to get down in the weeds on, and having data about actual generation that is based off of the actual housing program, right? The diversity of types of units that we envision is going to be a really profoundly good starting place. And it's maybe out of turn, but this is almost like a parliamentary point. I wanted to make people aware that in September, that's next month,
Yeah.
like
Soon.
6 weeks, within the next 6 weeks, there will be a special town meeting.
Yeah.
And the senior center will be on the warrant
Oh boy.
to move forward, right? And so having our educational materials in order is going to be really, really important, because obviously the public safety building was turned down already this past spring. And there's a very influential group looking at how to bring that forward yet again. Then there's the senior center, and there's the housing. Okay, point number one, there will be a special town meeting in September. Point number two, our planners for Zero College Highway are zeroing in on a scenario that they can illustrate with a lot of depth and analysis, not deep analysis about impacts, but deep description about how they've addressed our wants and needs for these public purposes. And that too will come in September.
Is there's been no
With public
traffic study yet, Stephen? There's been no traffic study yet?
No, because we really don't
Okay.
know what we're planning around. But I'm working on something. I'm trying to figure out how we get baseline before we do any building, right?
Okay. I mean, even after a traffic study, there will be people who come out of the woodwork saying that it's wrong.
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Well, and drainage is going to be the other one. So all we do with low impact development, I think, will come out in the visioning in September.
Well, I think I'm going to I just added something to the bottom of the fact sheet that said, will this affect traffic safety on Route 10? And I said, a traffic study will be conducted prior to any building. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Informing any necessary added safety measures, such as lower speed limits and a new traffic light.
No.
I'm going to say, or a new traffic light.
Or upgraded traffic controls. Covers a whole range of things.
Yeah, and don't get too specific.
Okay, such as
There are
upgraded.
all kinds of fire station specific things.
Okay. So I think I could now get this to a point where I could publish it on our website.
Yes.
I hesitate to post it on Facebook. I'm going to have to eventually, but I might wait until the senior center drama dies down a little bit, then get in there. But I might try to make this a little more attractive first. But I think it would be nice if we could take a vote to publish this, just so I know I have everyone behind me, and when I go forth. And so if you could. What I am asking for is a motion that gives me permission to do any final tweaks on this and publish it as needed.
I move what you said.
And I second.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Sharon, aye.
Thank you.
Can your friend who's on the grant committee,
Kate?
who has an alternate community Facebook page?
Does she?
Yeah.
I don't know. There are 2 Southampton community Facebook pages, but they're not run by any of my friends.
Bruce? She's on the grant committee and the public health committee?
Yeah, that's Kate Swistak.
Okay, yeah, that meeting that last night she was there, and she said she has something about a different, you can ask her.
Okay, I'll talk to her about that.
That maybe that would be the place to put the.
Yeah.
And
also I'll just publish it.
I don't understand. I don't know Facebook, so I might have misunderstood some of what she said.
Okay.
I've never used Facebook. I don't know.
Okay.
What I'm talking about.
I'll ask her about it. Steven still thinks me and Kate are the same person, so we'll just do a little mind.
I'm working on that.
We get asked that all the time. Here's the hint. My hair is wider. That's all you need to know.
But otherwise similar.
Similar. I'm also more likely to leave a meeting before it's over and opt out of doing extra work, whereas Kate will always say yes and do more and more and more. So that's another key difference. Anyway, but we're also neighbors and best friends, but not sisters. Anywho, okay, so I will work on maybe making this a little cuter, maybe take it to Canva and try to make it a little more attractive and then publish that. What I might also do is just see if other people post about housing on Facebook and just like comment it and be like, Mythbusters, go, and share that.
Yeah.
Okay. Any last thoughts on Zero College Highway?
It's exciting.
It is. I can't wait to see what happens at the next town meeting. It's going to be interesting.
One of the things that one of the pieces of guidance that I gave to the designers after the meeting where Sierra was physically present, was that we need to keep emphasizing areas where we have been efficient. And that's economic, ecological, what have you, but yes, economic. So shared facilities, smaller footprint if and where that works, low impact development rather than, gray infrastructure. The whole list. And I've invited our contractors to write about that. But, as we develop our own program descriptions for housing or senior or public safety, we ought to reflect those goals. That we're looking to reduce the costs and do this in, I've said that there's opportunity for synergy. I thought that we were going to grow a bigger pie, but we find that we have a table talk pie and we're going to make the best use of it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'm also going to add to this fact sheet about how the planning and RFP process can be provided for free by MHP. So we could literally do this without spending any town money, pretty much.
That's the kind of thing that needs to pervade our communication.
In bold, because that's the kind of thing that people won't read and will not have.
Right, right.
And they'll say, oh, it's going to cost all this money. It's not going to. And
planning and RFP. Okay, make a note so I don't leave that in note form. Okay. But that's good point, Stephen, because every step of the way, people are trying to make it seem like everyone's being very extravagant with their wishes. I saw today they're talking about they want a gourmet kitchen in the senior center. I don't know who came up with the word gourmet. The word is commercial. It's a commercial kitchen that meets health code laws, but they're just trying to paint it as this extravagant. Oh, they're gonna be making amuse-bouche foams and stuff in this place. It's no, they're going to be.
For God's sakes, when you have grandma's memorial service there, you're going to want to serve food.
Right? Come on. You need an industrial kitchen to, serve safe. You need 2 sinks. You need all these things. It's literally just meeting laws. Nobody is trying to be extra.
Heck, the church has that.
Yeah. Most places that accommodate public venues have some kind of commercial kitchen.
To be able to even serve food, there's a lot they need.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Anyway, and then another thing I just wanted to say that I thought was ridiculous on Facebook is that, ridiculous in a sad way. Someone literally died in a traffic accident, and people on Facebook use that as an opportunity to talk smack about the public safety complex. They literally go on there to start being, and this is why I'm someone just lost their life. Could you give it a break for 5 fucking minutes? Anyway.
Yeah, I heard about that.
our meetings are recorded, but they're no longer posted on East Hampton Media. They only post the important committees. I mean, they only post the select board and I think the planning board committee and finance maybe. So we can now drop F-bombs and stuff. It will only be me watching the recording to do the minutes. So maybe Judy if she's bored, probably not.
Clark will strike the previous comments, please.
Okay. Anyway, there is no clerks. No be striking nothing.
Chair with. All right.
Okay. Anywho, what else is on our list? Okay, housing trust recruitment. Stephen, have you heard any updates from the select board?
No.
I figured. Okay, that's okay. That's okay.
Well, yeah.
Not that okay.
It's not that we have been on vacation. We've had some curveballs thrown at us.
You mean like the budget not passing?
Well, the budget was a mess to begin with when we were looking at 20% increase in health insurance premiums. And then the health insurance partnership that we're part of said, we're looking at insolvency. There will be 20% mid-year increase. So
God.
we're looking at 44% in a year.
Oof. Ouch.
Yeah.
That is so bad. I'm dealing with this kind of thing. And so I'm the finance and operations director at the Community Music School of Springfield. We're a nonprofit. And we try to give health insurance to as many people as we can. Like I've lowered the threshold to give it to more and more people. This shit is so expensive. And Mass Health, because of the federal law changes, just changed their threshold. So everything is like twice as expensive. And all my employees are coming running to me like, help, I need insurance. Can you find me like 5 to 10 more hours of work and pay me for it and pay for my insurance? And I'm like, we don't pay for it either. You don't have the money. We don't have the money. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's bad out there, folks. It is bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you have insurance through a job, you are lucky, such as myself. I'm very lucky that I am full-time and insured, but
and you still may not be able to get in to see your doctor.
Mm.
No, and I still have to pay out of pocket
4 months.
I paid out of pocket like $3,000 for procedures this year, even because, you know. Anyway, I digress, and I have to drive 4 hours after this, so we should move along here. Thanks for listening to all my BS. Any other urgent business? Any other stuff you guys want to talk about before we wrap? Cool.
I don't have anything.
Let's schedule our next meeting.
Okay.
So usually we're on Wednesdays. So let's go back to Wednesdays. We like that. Give me 1 second. We don't have a whole lot covered, but we do have a lot to keep checking in on and just making sure we're staying on top of and accountable of things. So I think we should meet in another month. It might be short again, but it's just good to stay on it. So I'm looking at Wednesday the 24th. I just want to look at my other calendar. Shut up, cat. Wednesday, September 24th.
I have something at 7.
Okay. Could you do 5:30?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone else, could you do Wednesday the 24th at 5:30?
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Actually, yes.
Okay. Wednesday the 25th, 5:30, SHA. Okay. $5:30 p.m. Okay. Got it. Okay. So we are good to go. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So
So move.
A second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right.
You
Have a
said
good one,
5:30, right?
Yes, 5:30 on the 24th.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.